So what we're gonna do here is I'm going to lay out some extremely practical step-by-step things that you're going to follow to get a client this week. And to be honest, after you watch this video, you don't have any excuses, okay? You can literally run with what I'm going to show you and get a client in a week. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get into it. Step number 1, we need to bust your limiting beliefs. You can get a client this week. You just can, okay? And if my coach is like, I remember when he said this to me when I hit $1 million, he's like, every single one of you here in this room has the potential to run a 7-figure business. If you don't believe it yet, that's okay. I'll believe it for you. I'll hold the belief for you. So I'm gonna say the same exact thing to you. Every single one of you watching this video right now, you have the potential and you have the power to get a client this week. If you don't believe it, that's okay. I will believe it for you. So we're just gonna bust through your limiting beliefs and you can do it, okay? You just can. I've seen it happen literally thousands of times over the people that I've coached. You can do this. Second step, okay? You need to understand that this is just a numbers game. This is just a game of numbers. If you wanna sign a client this week, you probably need to pitch your offer around 5 times. So whatever it is you're selling, whatever it is you do, you need to get that offer and pitch it in front of 5 people. Now, people hate the word pitch. When I mean pitch, I don't mean shove it down somebody's throat. I mean, you need to find 5 people who are actively interested in what it is you're offering and tell them how you can help them solve your problem. Most people close at around 20%, right? 20% is kind of considered industry standard. Do the math on that. That means you need to be talking about your offer and how you can help someone 5 times this week. Step 3, what's the fastest way to book 5 sales calls, right? So this is the next step, book 5 sales calls. What's the fastest way to do that? Well, the good news is we've got you covered. So here on this YouTube channel, we have lots of different videos on how to book sales calls quickly based on the social media platform that you like to be. So if you like to be on Instagram and your potential clients are on Instagram, here's a video on booking sales calls on Instagram. If you prefer Facebook, here's a video on booking sales calls on Facebook. The platform, and you can watch either one of those videos and take the tips and apply to any platform. Platform doesn't even really matter. What matters is it's in the book. This is the hardest step. This is a step, I don't say the hardest step, but it's like, this is a step that requires the most work. It's not on the calls because some people aren't going to be a good fit and some people won't buy, and that's totally fine. You just need one of the 5 people to sign. So that's fine. The thing that you need to do and where the work goes in and where you're going to put your effort in and your time in and your perseverance in and your persistence in and that like oomph, like the work, the elbow grease is in this step, booking the 5 sales calls. If you can do that, you will land the clients. So Haley, one of my coaches on my team, she's created this visual to kind of walk you through what this process looks like. And it super simplifies everything. So we're going to put it up on the screen here so you can see this process. Here's the thing that you should know too, by the way. I like overemphasized how hard it is to get 5 calls booked per week. But to be really honest, that's pretty damn low. 5 calls per week by any industry standard is very, very low, just so you know. And back in the day, I would book a minimum. When I was still selling logos, I would book a minimum of 2 sales calls per day for a total of 10 sales calls per week. Gosh, I think there was one point where I had like months where I had like over 100 sales calls in a month. Most people I know consider 3 to 4 calls a day a minimum. You don't have to do that this week. All you have to do is 5 in a week. On those 5 sales calls, when you're actually having the conversation, remember, this is kind of the easy part compared to booking the calls. When you're on those 5 sales calls, just take a deep breath and go slow. That's all you need to remember. You don't need to be pushy. Pushy doesn't work. You don't need to be sleazy. Sleazy doesn't really work. You just need to go slow and take a deep breath. Try to not come across as nervous. Try to come across as confident. So, hey, I'm gonna ask you some questions about what you've got going on. Let's see if I can help you. By the way, if you're a Get Clients Now student and you're watching this, you're part of my Get Clients Now program, you should just use the sales call scripts I give you. Just follow the scripts. If you're not a member of the Get Clients Now program, you totally should be. It makes this whole process a lot easier. But either way, take a breath, go slow, ask them some questions about their business, or whatever, right? Whatever you can help them with. And then say, cool, I actually think I can help you. Do you mind if I tell you a little bit about what I do and how I help people just like you? And they say, yes. You explain what it is you have to offer and say, how's that sounding? Sound like a great deal? Sound fair? Whatever it might be. 1 out of 5 will say yes, and there's your client. Here's the last thing. Be sure to follow up, okay? There's an old saying, you probably have heard it, The fortune is in the follow-up. So one or two of those people that you talk to, they might not be a good fit to buy now, but maybe in 90 days, they are going to be a good fit. Maybe they'll be ready in 90 days. So then you have the client that you signed this week, and 90 days from now, because you're good at follow-up and you actually tracked it properly and you didn't forget and you stayed organized, you have a client in 90 days kind of guaranteed just from this 1 week of work that you did. That's technically at least 2 clients from it. And by the way, in case you're wondering what kind of follow-up message to send, you can just be like, hey, Jen, hope you've been well. We had a great conversation a couple months ago about XYZ. Is solving XYZ still a priority for you? Or let's say that here's another follow-up script. Let's say that and this one's good, I'm just gonna read this one verbatim. Let's say that you talk to somebody this week, right? So you talk to somebody, they seem kind of interested, and then they're ghosting you. You ever have a problem with somebody like ghosting you? This is what you should say. Hey, Jen, we had a great convo the other day, but I never heard back from you. Did I do a bad job explaining the program to you? They're always going to reply back, no, I'm not just sure how XYZ works, or no, I just had a question about XYZ, whatever it might be, right? So, hey, did I do a bad job explaining this to you? And they'll say no, and then they're going to let you know what the real thing that's holding them back is from signing up, and you can have a conversation around that. If you do these things, you will get a client this week. Period, end of story. If you don't, come leave a comment on my YouTube channel because I want to see what you did wrong. Come talk to me. I'll help you. Literally leave a comment in the YouTube channel. Say, hey, I did all the steps. I'm stuck. Leave me a comment. Let me know. I'll do my best to answer. Here's the thing though. If you want a little extra hand holding, if you're feeling like I could use just a little bit more guidance, just a little bit more information to feel really, really solid, you should totally come to a workshop that I'm hosting. Basically on this workshop, what I'm going to do is walk you through the framework that I use to sign on. Gosh, at this point, it's like we average 36 new customers a day. So we average 36 sales a day. This workshop is awesome. I walk you through essentially what I did to go from, frankly, $92 in my bank account to running a 7-figure company. I walk you through what I call the 5 pillars of attracting clients. So I'll give you a little sneak peek. It's attract, nurture, convert, deliver, and then your cash flow. So monitoring your cash flow to make sure you're actually bringing in a bunch of cash. Super awesome. Tickets on me. You can go and save your seat for free by going to mariewendt.com/workshop or just clicking the link in the description. I hope to see you there. It's a really helpful training. If you're serious about getting your first client, this would be the perfect thing for you. So I will see you there. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like it. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.